the true measure of a man's success is how many leaders he creates. It's how many people he inspires to be the best version of themselves. So yeah, you're gonna have goals, whether it's financial or physical, spiritual, whatever your goals are. You could have a financial goal to be rich one day, and you might be a millionaire at some point, and that's good. You should never apologize for wanting to improve your finances. You should never let someone pull the whole, well, money isn't everything, which of course it isn't everything, but it's nice not to struggle with bills. So if you get to a point one day where you are a millionaire, that's awesome and good for you as a man. But it's also how many people are you impacting? Like, how are you affecting people? What did you do? What are your moves to get to your current position? So yeah, you could have a company with a bunch of employees under you, but if you're an old man looking back on it and you made millions, did they just make minimum wage the whole time? Did they have terrible benefits? Did you never give them a pathway forward for promotion? Did you never inspire them? Did you ever did you only think of them as like a worker for your company, for your money, and that's all it is? Like, clock in, come work, clock out, and that's just what I see you as. So there's levels to it. So yeah, like you're financially successful, you're making money, you're secure financially, but you can't take it with you. At the end of the day, when you're looking back on your life and you're an old man on your deathbed, you're not gonna be able to take millions with you. So the success is very subjective in what you're calling success for yourself. So yeah, you could leave the money to your family, you could leave it to other people, but how are you impacting people? What are your moves to get to your current position? Like, what did you do to get there? Who did you positively impact? So really, the true success of a man is how many leaders he creates. It's how many people he inspires. So yeah, like, no shame in building that company and making millions of dollars, and hiring who you need to hire to be workers for that company if you built that company. But maybe too, like, you could, if someone asks you a question like, how did you do it? I'd like to build a company. Just tell them, like, oh, like, I started at this age and I worked here and I saved up and here were some of my moves. You don't have to give away 100% of your moves or your secrets or your whole life story, but like, what, like, there's a difference between the guy that just he owns the company and he just has workers under him, and just, oh, did you clock in? Did you get did all of your conference calls in? Did you meet your quota? Did you it's just like you're just micromanaging versus you have the company, but you're also understanding of your position, and you do what you can when you can to help people increase their own vision, increase their own life. Like, are you the kind of owner of that company that gets pissed off when someone gets a better job for their circumstance because now you have to hire someone else? Or do you have a genuine, hey, good for that person for moving on to a better situation for themselves? So yeah, like, you don't want to be constantly hiring. You want some stability, but say you hire someone at like 25, they work for you for 15 years, and they find a better situation for them at 40, and you can't offer them because you're not going to give them a raise, you're not going to increase their position, but they found somewhere else that increases their position. Are you happy for them, or are you just like, oh, I got to rehire somebody? There's a certain mentality of how you approach that. So like, yeah, you're going to feel a certain way about like people who move on from your company, or you're going to feel a certain way about you have to rehire, go back in the process. But that's, again, like I'm saying, with the mentality, is it just about your company and your money and your success, or once in a while is it about the other guy's growth, the other guy's advancement? That's really the difference of it. It's kind of like the internet meme where you see like the boss versus the leader. The boss, you see like a bunch of the workers, and they're like pulling the rope of like all the weight, and they're just like tired and struggling, and they're like pulling it, and the boss is behind them just like barking orders like, go that way, go this way. And then the leader, it shows the picture where he's not only directing them, but he's actually pulling the weight with them. He's in the front of the line, he's leading the pack, so he's holding the rope with them, and he's pulling the weight with them, and he's guiding the troops with him. He's not behind them directing traffic, he's with them pulling the load. That's the difference between a boss and a leader. And what you want to do as a man is you want to create other leaders. So like, if you do music, your music should inspire people, it should put people in a positive mood, or get people thinking, or like create a certain vibe where people feel like they're growing with you as an artist. If you put out a YouTube video, you want the person to have gained something from the video. You don't want to waste people's time. You don't, like, people always ask like, how do I gain subscribers? How do I make money off YouTube? How do I get views or likes? But it's just like that question already is the wrong question, because yeah, of course you want to do well at whatever you're doing, but like, Like what? So like you're just gonna put out a blank video, like say it's just like a black screen for like an hour, hoping that people are gonna watch a black screen for an hour so that you get your watch time, so that you get your views, so that you can make money at it. Like there's gotta be content. Like don't waste people's time. Like there's gotta be some kind of content there. There's gotta be some like creating other leaders, creating other men who are like inspired and like go out into the world and become that themselves. Like don't see it as like there's a pie and it's finite and you can only get a certain amount, so you're just like always looking for yours and you're always scared that someone's going to outdo you. Maybe you make the YouTube video that inspires the other guy to make his own YouTube video, and then his YouTube video does better than yours. And you know, it's just what it is. It's not like you got to create leaders. You got to create men who see potential in themselves and hit their full potential. That's the true success. The true marker of success for a man is how many leaders he creates. How many men does he really extract their fullest potential from? You watch a sports team, and there's layers to how we're evaluating athletes and like who's the best at their position, who's the best in their sport, and there's layers to it. It goes across many levels. So you can say like, oh, this NBA player, he's leading the league in scoring. Like he averages like 30 points a game or something. But then you take a guy like LeBron, and maybe he's not leading the league in scoring, where he could if he really wanted to, but like maybe he's not leading the league in scoring, but now there's assists and rebounds and steals and blocks and basketball IQ, and how he's making the other people around him a better player, how he's making other people around him the best at their position. So you could just say, well, okay, LeBron averaged, like, say he has a year, he averages like 27 points a game, and then you look at another player, they average like 30 a game. You just say, oh, well, they scored more, or like they're the better player, or like, because like that's just like the metric you're using. But there's levels to it. It's like, yes, like he has 3 more points a game, but what does he have, like 1 assist a game versus LeBron has like 7 or 8, or like this last year averaged 10. I mean, there's levels to that. Like in football, it's just like you know, you could be the kind of quarterback that, yeah, you can be an accurate passer. You can hit your receivers 9 out of 10 times. You could be the most accurate passer, highest QB rating in NFL history. But are you galvanizing the troops in a huddle? Are you like inspiring them off the field? Like, do you like hang out with them and like motivate them on off days and days where you're not on the field? Or do you just look at it like, oh, well, I'm the best quarterback in the league, I'm the highest paid, I just show up, do my job, and then as soon as it's the game is over, I just go back to my house and I don't talk to my teammates because they're not Hall of Famers like me, so therefore they're not on my level. Like there's a mentality with how a man is viewing certain things. So yeah, like you want your own success, you want your own way up the ladder, you want to achieve things for yourself, but the true marker is how you're making the other people around you better, how you're making the other men around you better men. How are you creating leaders? If you can create leaders, you're always going to be doing well. You know, people have that scarcity mindset where if they give away too much of their game, if they give away too much of their secrets, people can use that against them, which is true. There are a lot of people that will take something from you and they'll use it against you, or they'll use what you're doing to try to cop it in a way to like kind of diminish your position. So you do got to be careful to a certain extent on what information you give out and what you're sharing with people. So there's a little bit that you have to be on guard, but at the same time, some people have that scarcity mindset so much that they never try to make the other person better because they always feel like it's going to be taken from them. You need to have an abundance mindset. There's plenty out here for everyone to win. You just have to see things over the course of time and be patient with things and understand how you're working with other people around you. You got to like create leaders. You got to help the next guy along. If you see a guy and he has a certain mindset that's destructive, or you can help him in a certain way, help him in a certain way. It doesn't have to be like huge financial help, or you don't have to be like a fan of his content, or you don't have to pay his rent, but like help the guy see something better. Give a suggestion if you want to give a suggestion. If he's curious about something you did that led to your success, help him see it. Help him see the vision a little bit. Help him level up himself, because it's going to level you up too, because you're creating leaders, and as you're creating leaders, your stock in the community is going up, and by default you're going to be a leader. you being a leader and creating other leaders, it only increases your status as a leader. But people do have that scarcity mindset, like, oh well, like I can't give away everything, or like this guy's gonna take it from me, or like he's gonna pass me up if I give away the way I did it. He might become better than me. He might race to the top and surpass me. And you can't have that mindset. You got to create leaders. You got to create people who have the most potential possible. You want to see other people hit their potential. Now, not hit their potential in a way that like takes away from others. Like if someone's idea of hitting potential in terms of like, oh, I want to make a bunch of money and hit my financial potential, well, do they mean, are they going to go to and rob a bunch of houses and steal from other people? Is that their financial potential? So yeah, if that's their financial potential, we got to understand how the person is getting there, right? We got to understand the layers of what they're doing and the moves they're making to get to their position. But in terms of like, hey man, like here's like a better job you could be doing, or here's a second job you can get, or here's a way you can get residual income, or here's an art or a craft you can work on, or here's something to invest in, or here's some real estate opportunity, or just helping the guy think of things like, hey man, you might not be in a certain position now, but I'm trying to help you see things 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, get you in a position where one day you can be that person. So yeah, it's if the guy's going around and wants to his financial potential and his idea of that is stealing from a bunch of people, yeah, we're not going to encourage that. But if he just genuinely wants to make more money and not make minimum wage forever, help the guy see options. Help the guy see his way to go do it. Help the guy understand his own potential. You want to create leaders. That's what it's really about. You want to create people who are a leader in their respective trade or skill or talent or job. You want to make the other men around you better, and that's how you're going to be the best man in the eyes of other people.